Changing an air filter is very simple.
New cars today, you've got lines of code.
It's time for Drive With Me TV.
This is Drive With Me TV.
With your host, Dave Jigster.
So get behind the wheel with me, Dave Jigster, for Drive With Me TV.
Hi, I'm Dave Jigster from 97 Rock. Welcome to Drive With Me TV, Western New York's only automotive television show. On this edition, popular weatherman Don Paul is in the driver's seat with my friend Don DeShulo. Meet the car care coach Lauren Fix. Find out what's under the hood with Pete Dahmer. Go inside Collision Masters because you've got a guy with Frank Todaro. And take a test drive with one of the most popular vehicles sold in Buffalo. So let's get rolling with our friend Don Paul.
Don Paul, this is an amazing moment because we're driving with you and we're now pulling out of the lot. Don, what are you driving?
I am driving a 2018 leased Honda Accord EXL with the 2-liter engine, which is this is the first year where they stopped using the 6. And they had about the best V6 out there. And I've been leasing Hondas, and I had the V6, which was magnificent, and I was kind of reluctant. But I knew if I'm staying with Honda, I'm going to have to settle for the 4. And the 4 is just as fast, not quite as quiet. And this has a 10-speed automatic transmission, which you can drive from the little old lady style up to madman style.
Oh my gosh, look, Don Paul, like Mario Andretti.
Watch that speedometer.
Watch the state police.
Yeah, it's a fast car. I don't typically drive like that.
So you're driving a Honda.
Yes.
Why the Honda over and above another vehicle? Because it seems like you're a Honda kind of guy. Let me get right here.
Well, for a couple of reasons. One is relative cheapness, me and the car.
So are you saying, Don, you like a car that has a lot of, economic punch?
Yes, because this car is loaded in the ways that no BMW without the options packages is. It has virtually everything you want, plus all the safety features, the automatic emergency braking, and the lane. I definitely need the lane assistance, staying in lane. I had a very serious incident with my previous Accord. I got the option that's now standard called Honda Sensing. And I joked with the sales guy, I may not need this now, but I could easily need it by the time the lease is up, because I'm getting older. And I was coming down with a cold. I still worked at Channel 4 back then, and I had lunch with a former Channel 4 employee, which was a common status back then, former Channel 4. And I had loads of coffee, and I took an over-the-counter colds medication that I'd taken 1,000 times before, and I'm on the 290 to get to Delaware Avenue, and I'm so sleepy. And I'm forcing my, kind of shaking my head, and I turned and went on to Delaware, cut over to Elmwood to get to Channel 4. And I'm driving down Elmwood with my cruise control on, set at 35, because Kenmore, as we well know, is well patrolled by the Kenmore Police Department. Well, the next thing I knew, my brakes were slamming on, and I had fallen asleep at the wheel. And some poor individual in front of me would have had a 35-mile-an-hour rear-end collision, which would have resulted in serious whiplash injuries for him. And it would have been a major accident. A 35-mile-an-hour impact is a major impact mechanically and a real threat. And that system saved me. And I don't remember ever falling asleep like that. Maybe it's happened some other time in my life. But the next time I saw the sales guy, I said, boy, did that system pay for itself. It's standard on Hondas now, or all the Accords. But there are some very expensive luxury cars where they're still making it part of a package. It's not standard. And it will become standard in every car, because I think Congress is already going to legislate that, because that kind of system can save your life. Now, I'm not saying I would have been killed, but what about the poor guy in front of me.
Sure. Wow, that's a serious story, Don. I don't think anybody would
So,
expect that.
you know, it's nannyism. People say, I want to do my own driving. Well, I still enjoy driving, but I like knowing that if my sensory systems in my brain start to fail, there's a safety net. So I really recommend that.
The safety feature saved your life, and that maybe of another driver in Western New York.
Yeah, or at least kept that other driver from being badly injured.
Yeah.
And I really like knowing that's there. And you know, it has radar, which watches the cars in front of you. And if it snows too hard, it actually gives me a warning. Your radar is obscured. Do not rely on it.
So anywhere you
Yeah,
go,
totally.
Don Paul, Western New York's weatherman, the radar is with him.
That's
Whether
right.
it's at
I
home, in
can't
the car.
pull you over for speeding though.
No.
It doesn't trace your speed.
No, but even the weather radar is here following Don. Well, safe travels, Don, and thanks for driving with me.
I'm Dave Jixter. Time to keep you updated with the latest news and information from the dashboard. Here's an interesting fact. Did you know that women buy more new cars than men? Let's tell that to the moneylenders at Ally Financial. A recent report coming out of their Detroit headquarters showed that profits are flat due to declining new car business, and that GM and Chrysler sales are down nearly 30%. But used car sales and lease numbers are up. Get this, Ally reports an 11% increase in that category, totaling $1 billion for the third quarter of 2018 compared to $900 million the year before. Ally is one of the largest auto lenders in the United States. Attention parents, the AAA tells us that teens driving with other teens in the car are more likely to be involved in a fatal collision. That's up over 50% than if the teen was driving solo. Add night driving and speed into the mix, and those stats could go even higher. What can be done to prevent teens in risky situations? The AAA says teens should drive at least 100 hours with a parent before driving alone and not allowing more than one teen as a passenger for at least 6 months. One popular car with drivers of all ages is the Mazda CX-5. A company memo posted by Reddit and picked up by Motor Trend confirms that the newest version of the CX-5 will have a 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, revving you up with over 300 pounds of torque. Look for new models branded as Grand Touring Reserve and Signature with all-wheel drive and other dashboard features like Apple CarPlay and other technological features to name a few. So who watching has $13 million to spend on a car? I see a few hands raised. Well, I don't, but if you do, then you want to check out this ride from Rolls-Royce. Now, despite the price tag on that new Rolls, our crack team at Drive With Me TV found that 80% of millionaires actually drive used cars. That's right, used cars, which might explain why they are millionaires. Did you know your car spends 95% of its life parked? That it takes about 25 hours to build a car, with 10 of those hours spent on painting the vehicle. Did you know what the best-selling car of all time is? We'll find out after this brief break on Drive With Me TV.